I lied about why I'm a single dad to someone. I've been raising my son by myself since he was 3. His mom just vanished one day, left a note saying she couldn't handle being a parent and disappeared. No forwarding address, no phone calls, nothing, just gone. For years, I told people the truth when they asked. Car accident, I'd say, or sometimes cancer. Quick, clean explanations that made people nod sympathetically and change the subject. Because the real story made people uncomfortable. They'd get this look like they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me that made her leave. Last month, I met this woman at my son's school pickup. Her name's Beth, and she was new in town. Her daughter just started 4th grade, same as my kid. We got to talking while waiting for the kids, and she mentioned she was divorced. Standard small talk stuff. When she asked about my son's mom, I froze. I was so tired of that look people get when I tell them the truth. So I said she died in a car accident when he was little. Beth's face immediately softened, and she put her hand on my arm. She said she was so sorry that it must be incredibly hard raising him alone. For the first time in years, someone looked at me with respect instead of pity or suspicion. Like I was this strong, single dad doing his best, not some guy who got abandoned by his baby mama. We started hanging out more. Coffee dates while the kids played at the park. Movie nights when they had sleepovers at friends' houses. She'd tell me how amazing I was as a father, how lucky my son was to have me. She'd say things like, "Your wife would be so proud of how you turned out," and I'd just nod and change the subject. The problem was, I started really liking her. Like, really liking her. And my son loved her daughter. They were becoming best friends, and Beth was talking about introducing me to her family, making long-term plans. 3 weeks ago, my son was at Beth's house for a play date. I was supposed to pick him up at 6, but I got there early and heard them talking in the kitchen. Her daughter was asking my son about his mom, and I heard him say, "She just left when I was little. My dad says she couldn't handle being a mom anymore." I stood there, frozen in the hallway, waiting for Beth to say something. Instead, she went quiet for a really long time. Then she asked my son if he was sure that's what happened. He said yeah, that his dad had shown him the note she left. When I walked into the kitchen, Beth looked at me like she'd never seen me before. The kids ran off to play, and she just stared at me. I knew she knew. She didn't say anything that night. We had this awkward conversation about homework and dinner plans while I gathered my son's stuff. But the next day, she texted me asking if we could talk. We met at that same coffee shop where we'd had our first real conversation. She sat across from me and said, "I know you lied about your son's mother." I started to deny it, but she held up her hand. "Your son told my daughter the truth yesterday." I just sat there feeling like garbage. She asked me why I lied, and I couldn't even look at her. I told her about all the judgmental looks, about people assuming I must have done something wrong to make her leave, about how exhausting it was to defend myself to strangers who didn't know me. Beth listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said she understood why I did it, but that she couldn't be with someone who would lie about something that important. She said she'd been wondering why I never talked about my son's mom, why there were no pictures of her in our house, why I got weird whenever she brought her up. The worst part was when she said, "I actually think more highly of you for telling me the truth. Raising a kid alone when the other parent just bails, that's harder than being widowed. At least widowed parents have good memories and community support." She was right. I'd been so focused on avoiding judgment that I'd created this fake tragedy. And in doing that, I'd messed up the first real relationship I'd had in years. We haven't talked since then,